Hi there, I'm Dr. Tiffany Chow, neuroscientist in the San Diego area. I'm broadcasting to you today from Bird Rock, where I live. Let's start off with a big shout out to Issa in Alberta, Canada, all the way up north. Thank you so much for your question about whether redheads really do have something about pain or some kind of resistance to analgesics, anesthetics. This is a thing. However, it may not be the thing that you think it is. This is a great example of, in nature, two things co-occurring or appearing together, but one does not actually cause the other. So that's association without causality. It just so happens that both of these things, the red hair and the type of analgesic opioid that people will respond to, seem to be coded for along the same stretch of a gene. Now, this gene mainly makes products related to melanocortin receptor, MCR1, if you want to Google it. Before I forget, there's a New York Times article on this called The Pain of Being a Redhead from 2009, which you can also Google to get a little bit more information. Back to melanocortin. Melano may sound familiar to you. Think of melanin. Think of melanin, the pigment that determines what color your eyes are, what color your hair is, dark complexion, fair complexion. As there are variations on a theme, blonde, redhead, black, or brown hair, that melanocortin receptor will also code, at times, for redheaded people with fair skin. Not all redheaded people will have this other interesting finding that has to do with kappa versus mu opioid receptors. Your opioid receptor density and the type of receptor will determine what kind of drugs that we use to put you out for surgery or reduce your pain you will respond to. So interestingly, not all redheads have the phenomenon. 75% and not all redheads will show a better response to opioids that act at the kappa type of receptor. Now, the ones that are most commonly used in healthcare are for the mu receptor. So it's a perception that redheads can't respond. They can, it's that they have to have the right drug targeted to the kappa receptor. And interestingly, there's a male-female difference in this. So the women who are redheads are going to have a better response, a stronger response to kappa receptor aimed opioids for pain than are men. Now, you may see when you try to Google this that redheads are more resilient to pain. Again, I think it has to do with what aspect of pain or pain control you're looking for. And I hope that helps answer the question.
Hello, my name is Laura Martin Sanchez. I'm a senior postdoc at SDP Medical Discovery Research Institute, and I live in Pacific Beach, San Diego. The major difference between bacteria and viruses is that while bacteria are living, replicating organisms, viruses are not. Bacteria are found everywhere across the globe. We can find them in soil, in plants, and in water, but they also live within us. In our bodies, we can find bacteria in our gut and also on the surface of our skin, and most of them are beneficial and help us digest our foods, or they help us prevent us from getting sick from infection from another pathogens. In contrast, viruses can replicate on their own. So what they need to do is they need to enter our cells and they need to use our cellular replicative machinery in order for them to live and to propagate. That means that viruses can only live inside of animals. There are some viruses that are able to adapt to different animals, like for example, what it happened with HIV, that they started in monkeys and then it was able to affect and infect humans. And we also have the new case of the coronavirus, which is thought to be spread from bats to humans. And for all these reasons, viruses are usually causing disease. Also, bacteria and viruses have differences in size. Because bacteria can replicate on their own, they are much bigger. Even the smallest bacteria there is still bigger than the biggest virus. And also for all these reasons, the way we have to treat bacteria and viruses is very different. We have antibiotics, which are fantastic at preventing bacteria from replicating on their own, but characteristic or for this reason, they cannot target viruses. So viruses are not affected by antibiotics antibiotics. Instead, we need antivirals that will prevent viruses from entering our cells or replicating within our cells or preventing viruses exiting our cells in order to contain and to prevent viruses from causing disease in our cells. So I like to finalize here, but before finalizing, I would like to ask for your support to the scientific community so we can find better treatments for viruses that can prevent people from getting sick. Thank you very much.